Coming up on MHS1.
We get prepared for Earth Day.
We get some life lessons.
We take a look at some past proms.
And it's all coming up on MHS1. Morning, McKinney High School. Today is Friday, April 17th. I'm Patrick Duran.
And I'm Lily Pisano, and you're watching MHS1. As May 4th draws near, students prepare for AP exams. Here's Lily Shea and Grant Holland with the story.
AP exams are right around the corner. Students need to prepare for the upcoming tests.
Well, obviously the exams are long, and most students have already done a mock type of an exam through their teacher or something of that nature. We have some students that are taking 6 and 7 AP exams, and a lot of them on the same day. These kids are going to have a lot of stress, but the fact is that the knowledge for the exam that they have is not going to go away. Those students are probably going to want to bring something that can give them a little burst of energy in between the exams to make sure that they're pacing themselves, they're getting plenty of sleep, they're getting plenty of rest, and they're utilizing the break time appropriately. Just be calm, not carry on conversations with other people, give themselves an opportunity to mentally relax as well as physically.
I plan to do at least 30 minutes a night, just kind of looking over our old stuff and whatever our teacher assigns us to review. And that week leading up to that week before, I'll probably start buckling down and studying about an hour, hour and a half a night.
Students also can check scores over the summer.
They're going to get a little card, and in that card they're able to call and check their scores preliminary, and then other scores will be sent to them directly as well as sent to the school, and that'll be during the summer in July.
This has been Grant Holland and Lily Shea reporting for MHS1.
Hey Lily, have you ever wondered what past proms were like?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day.
Well, you're in luck. Here's Grace Tauber, Reese Perry, and Lily Shea with a look at teachers' previous proms.
I asked my date to prom in a very grand gesture.
I was dating this guy who knew that I was obsessed with Derek Jeter of the New York Yankees at the time.
It was with a sign outside of her house. Drove by in my truck and honked my horn and played loud music until she looked out of her window.
I was coming home one day and I went upstairs to my room, and at the top of the stairs there was this dark shadow. It scared me at first, but then I looked and I was like, oh wow, it's a life-size cardboard cutout of Derek Jeter.
I got asked to prom with a fish bowl, and on the outside of the fish bowl, and there was a fish in it, and it said, out of all the fish in the sea, will you go to prom with me?
And it said something along the lines of, prom is coming up, but I have a game in Boston that day, so I'm not going to be able to make it, but I have a good candidate for you. And he described the guy. It was really cool. And it had his name at the bottom, and so I called him and I was like, yes.
I really wanted to be a really good date to this girl. I didn't know her super well, but I was like, man, I'm gonna be the best date she's ever had.
One of the things that was pretty common amongst most of the high schools at the time is you went all out.
This is expensive, we gotta get a limo, I gotta get an awesome suit, I wanna look good.
You would go to the most expensive of restaurants. I mean, you're looking at dropping $200 on your meal.
It was such a fun night because I went with someone that I was just friends with, and so we just went with a big group of our friends, and we did the whole limo thing and went to dinner before.
Honestly, I think the best part is when you show up at the dance and there's all these people, you've seen them at school before, but they've completely transformed.
One thing I really enjoyed about our senior class is that everyone was really there to have a good time.
It was an awesome experience. I loved going to prom.
Hey, you should absolutely go to your prom because it's something you're never going to get to experience again.
It's kind of like your last hurrah to get to do something special and fun.
If you're thinking about whether you should go, you got to go because it's something that's once in a lifetime. It's something that you'll think about and talk about later with your friends, whether it was an awesome prom or whether you ended up dead broke without your wallet at the end of the night. it's still going to be something that means something to you.
Earth Day is coming up. Here's Grant Holland and EYJ with some ways to help the environment.
Every year, Earth Day is celebrated near downtown Dallas in a festive setting.
So Earth Day Texas is a free, family-friendly event that is held every April. This year it's April 24th through 26th at Fair Park. Basically, it's the largest forum for environmental groups anywhere in the world. If high school students are interested in learning about what kind of opportunities there are out there in the environmental field after high school, after college, there are colleges that are coming and showing off their environmental programs and what they're doing. And then there's also the chance to learn about, okay, so what exists in this field, what kind of different things, if I'm interested in the environment broadly, what are the practical applications of that in the real world. We're 5 years old. This is our 5th year anniversary, which is really exciting. It just means that, we've come a long way, but there's a lot that we can still continue to improve upon, and we're excited to keep doing that.
Visit earthdaytx.org for more information about exhibits and volunteering. This has been Grant Holland and Eli J. reporting for MHS1.
The increase in rain has helped with recent drought problems. Here's Keegan and Phillip with more.
The Dallas-Fort Worth area has recently experienced a rise in lake levels during the current drought, which is expected to worsen later in the season.
We are still technically in a drought. The lake levels are back up to, I think, over 50% now. But that's very short term. It's very short-sighted to assume that they're going to stay there. So we're still, I think, at once every other week watering right now in order to conserve those levels.
Despite current conditions, steps can be taken in order to alleviate the restrictions.
Short-term, reducing watering days helps. Long-term, we need to start thinking about how we landscape houses. We've got this idea that we have to have this beautiful New England style lawn when we don't have New England style weather. First and foremost, it's important to think that this isn't a short-term solution. This is a long-term solution. It's not going to get better, right? The population of the Dallas area is growing. It's growing very rapidly. We're adding more people. We're constructing more houses. That all consumes water. We have to start thinking in a much more water-friendly mindset. It'd be nice to start seeing developers put in gray water irrigation systems where you're using leftover shower water or dishwater to water lawns. Like, those things would all make a big impact. It's unfortunate that we haven't seen more of that. Maybe as it gets worse, we might see more.
This has been Keegan Pippin and Phillip Wynn reporting for MHS1.
Now here's Kamani with sports.
Thanks, Patrick. This past Wednesday, the Lioness softball team faced off against North, losing 7-0. They play again tonight at 7:30 against Wiley East at home. The boys baseball team plays a home game against Sherman at 7:30 tonight. The Lions golf team fell short in qualifying for state. However, Spencer Dillard shot a total score of 145 in the regional championship, individually advancing him to state. That's all for sports. Now back to you.
Thanks, Kamani. Many people overlook the hard work the janitors put into maintaining the school. Here's Lily Pisano and Emily Perales with a look into our janitors' daily lives.
The custodians in McKinney High School work harder than you think to keep our school spotless.
We've been working at MHS roughly a year now. I've been enjoying it. Depends on what's going on. It's not that bad on what needs to be done and stuff. It just depends on what's been going on in the bathrooms. The students been having a very messy mess in there, and it makes it harder for us to be able to do other things that need to be done by a certain time. As for me, I'm a mid-shift. I come in 11 to 7:30, and I keep the cafeteria functioning for the students to be able to eat in here. And then after school's out, I'll clean the classrooms and stuff like that in the halls.
Students can help in many ways in order to alleviate some of their workload.
Keep the bathrooms clean, put the trash in the trash can, not all over the floor. For like the cafeteria, put your trash in the trash can instead of leaving it on the table or on the floor. It makes it quicker when that stuff is already in the trash. You see what I'm saying?
I think janitors, when they come to school, they probably come here early just to get a head start on us, because we do not really keep the school clean, but they keep the school really nice and clean for us, and I'm sure they go around and check if everything's all neat and tidy in classrooms and such, and I'm sure they stay hours on after school, like after everyone gets out here, making sure everything looks nice and ready for the next day. I have actually made a mess and noticed trash on the ground, and I could have easily picked it up, but I just thought the janitors are here and that's their job, so they can go and get it later or whenever they're around. Yeah, I'm very appreciative of the janitors. They keep the school very nice and clean, and it looks very nice every day.
This has been Lily Pisano reporting for MHS1. Mr. McGowan and Mr. Bear teach students about life lessons. Here's Johnny Miller and Allison Duran with more.
I ranked like 500th in my class out of 1,000, so I was mediocre.
Yeah. Right, and I didn't
except in the
rank
looks department, I ranked number 2.
In the looks department?
Yeah, that's made up.
Yeah.
All right. It's a waste of time, the high school dating. Nothing ends a high school relationship like college.
Don't marry your high school sweetheart.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Although I have 3 former students who did that, and they seem happy. I don't know. I also don't like seeing kids touch one another in the hallway, so I have that problem.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah, no.
No.
Well, as a popular person.
And as an unpopular person.
I think being popular is really overrated.
And I think it's really underrated.
Yeah. And also, if you happen to see my high school yearbook photo, at Mark Bear, it wasn't pretty. So,
he was fat in high school, I was skinny.
Yeah, so we've traded places. Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. Money.
Okay,
happiness doesn't pay for Porsches.
But if you can have a wife that supports you.
That must be lucky. Like a lawyer wife?
Like a lawyer wife.
Yeah.
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 Then you get to do what makes you happy.
Right. But if you have a wife who is also a teacher, you get to have summers off, and by August you can't stand to look at one another anymore.
But that happens anyway.
Oh, right.
That's not.
Yeah, that's by Sunday. She's looking at me.
Oh, well, there's only 3 appropriate ways.
Okay.
If you go to prison, you should get a prison tattoo. If you join the French Foreign Legion, you should get a French Foreign Legion tattoo. And the 3rd one, if you join the Royal Navy, you should get a Royal Navy tattoo on your knuckles. Hold fast.
Yeah, that's good. I'll add something to that. There has never in my life been an outfit that I ever bought that I didn't later regret purchasing. I find the same thing to be true with tattoos. There's no tattoo you could ever get that later you won't go, I forgot what that meant in Mandarin. If you become the master of a paramilitary organization, don't have your henchmen wear masks. Then people can infiltrate your organization easier, right? So just remember that as life advice.
I think my life advice is don't forget that wherever you are and whoever you're with, as long as you follow the path,
the one true path,
you can always get home. Sometimes it's very simple.
Yeah.
And you just have to want to go home, and then you can go home.
Yeah. And emeralds.
And emeralds.
And rubies.
The student body has noticed a decrease in school pride. Here's Patrick, Grant, and Blake with more.
School spirit has been fluctuating over the past couple of years.
School spirit is when students are excited about the different goings on at school, from athletics to fine arts, right? And they're excited about it, and they attend, they enjoy it, they advertise it, they push people going. And so they look forward to these things. I think it's a celebration of the school and the students and the good things they do, the different talents that they show off, and people embracing that.
School spirit isn't just one person, it's the embodiment of all the students coming together.
It's like headhunters and stuff like that, and like trying to get people involved, and like they're the ones that are like the leaders of like the school and stuff. But it's also like, I mean, anyone can have school pride, so I wouldn't say it's like all up to them.
I wouldn't say there's been a decline, but I don't think it's been what it has been in the past. We've come off a couple of years where it's been really exciting, and we've had a lot of energy from the fans and the student body as a whole. But I think this year it might be a little bit less than usual, but I still think there's a lot of pride from our student body. I think senior class has definitely set the standard as far as tradition and how much. This senior year has definitely been a lot weaker than past years. We haven't really met expectations, I would say, but yeah, this senior class this year only isn't what the past couple classes have been.
Overall, I think people are more excited about the different programs now. So I go to multiple events, so I get to see that. Whereas if you're just in football, you don't see what's going on in fine arts or another category. So I think we have a lot of it. It just doesn't necessarily emanate at the pep rallies like some people would like to see.
This has been Patrick Duran, Grant Holland, and Blake Swanner reporting for MHS1. Now here's an MHS1 Grand Slam wake-up call.
It's time for another MHS1 wake-up call, ballpark edition. Freshman Brooke Ganaway, sophomore Sierra Wilson, junior Zach Roop, and senior Cal Kilgo. Wake up, you're in MHS1 wake-up call.
MHS1 wake-up call! Wake up!
Is someone alive under there?
MHS1 wake-up call! Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Wake up! Wake up! You're on MHS1 wake-up call! First challenge, T-ball. Contestants must spin around and hit the ball off the tee.
Go!
Second challenge, Pinata. Self-explanatory.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's coming. I can't move it.
It's still up there.
No, it's not. It's okay. Not a lot of people do.
Third challenge, water ball. Contestants must hit as many water balloons as they can. It came down to a tiebreaker between Zach Roop and Cal Kilgo. Whoever can sing "Take Me Out to the Ballpark" the best will be crowned our champion.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out in the old ball game. Solid.
And the winner of the MHS1 Wake Up Call Ballpark Edition is Cal Kilgo.
This has been Christian Schneider
And Luke Lauterbach reporting for MHS1.
And remember, you could be next.
Well, that's all we have for you today.
For more news, visit mainstreamnews.com.
And remember, if it's news,
And it's at McKinney High School.
it's MHS1.
Emergency! 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 The international sign for choking is this. Hey sports fans, I'm Chase Chesapeake here with the sports update. Enjoy a throwback as you set sail for the classic era of 1950s rock and roll. General admission is 15 big butts. I was doing support April 25th at the McKinney Performing Arts Center. On the square, on the square, on the square, on the square, on the square. I'm Chase Chesapeake, and remember,
That's a wrap, Chase.
good job, Chase!
We need to push your 4 o'clock to 9 tomorrow. We need to schedule a post-show conference. We also need to get your ratings report. You have a meeting with a Mr. Richardson in 18.5 seconds.
Thanks, Barry. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Probably starve and die.
Good.
Mr. Chesapeake, my name is Rich R. Richardson, and I'm here to talk with you about a deal.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Richardson.
Please, call me Mr. Richardson.
Well, Mr. Richardson, I'd like to have my agent, Barry, come along. I don't make any decisions without him.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. This shouldn't be too terribly complicated. Now please, come along. Please, have a seat. Chase, I am a huge fan of your work. Your sports updates are phenomenal. Just ace reporting.
I just give the sporty viewers the update they deserve.
And you do it with such grace and class. But I've been thinking, MHS1, that's kind of a small conquest, don't you think?
No.
Well, as luck would have it, I run a sports news network on the national level. It's called the Sports Update Station, or SUS, and I want you to be our head news anchor.
You want to hire me for your national sports network?
All you gotta do is sign this contract. All it asks is that we get exclusive broadcasting rights to Chase Chesapeake, the person, the icon. That and access to the Chase Chesapeake archives. We'd really like to get access to your old files so we can make this experience as positive as possible for you.
Sounds good to me.
Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Chesapeake.
Absolutely.
Chase!
Who are you?
I'm you from the future.